Hi, this is Chris Broughton from Vidyard. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how to set up an integration between Vidyard and Marketo. This video is split into 5 parts. The first thing we will do is set up the custom activities in Marketo. After you've logged into Marketo, you will need to click Admin and then press Marketo Custom Activities. On this page, click New Custom Activity and then type in Vidyard Video View. This should automatically create the API name, which can be left as it is, then press Next. For the filter and trigger, type in Watched Vidyard Video and Watches Vidyard Video, respectively, and hit Next. For the primary field, you should type Description. After this is complete, you should set each field to match the documentation that we have provided. Ensure that the capitalization is correct on each field, otherwise the connection will fail if there are any discrepancies. For each field, the API name will fill in automatically, so simply copying and pasting each name from the Knowledge Center article and setting the appropriate data type will complete each field. Be sure to check for any spaces before and after the field names if you decide to copy and paste from the documentation. Spend a second to double check that each field has the correct name and data type before continuing by pressing Marketo Custom Activities, Custom Activity Actions, and Approve Activity. Once approved, we will now set up the Vidyard lead conversion activity. For this, we need to set the filter as Vidyard lead converted and the trigger as Vidyard lead converts. For the primary field, you should type Description. Then, in a similar fashion to the video view fields, copy and paste the names into each one and ensure that the data type matches the documentation. Once this is complete, press Marketo Custom Activities, Custom Activity Actions, and Approve Activity. At this point, we need to check whether there is an API user setup that can be used for creating the connection. To do so, click Admin and then select Users and Roles from the Security section of the left-sided menu. If you see that you already have a user in the API role, you can skip to part 3 of this video. If you need to set up a new user, ensure that you're in the Users and Roles page on the left side menu, select Users and then Invite New User. Now, fill in the details of your API user and hit Next. Ensure that the API role is selected and API Only is checked, and then hit Next and then Send. This will not trigger an email, but it will allow you to use these details for the LaunchPoint service that we will now look to set up. If you already have a LaunchPoint service set up, it won't be necessary to perform this action again, although it can be useful to segment the services for audit purposes. To create your service, select LaunchPoint from the integration menu, then press New and then New Service. The display name and description does not need to match what you see here, but choose something Vidyard related for it to be useful. After you have selected the relevant API user, press Create. In order to create the connection, you need to fill in the integration details on the Vidyard platform. To do this, click on Group, Integrations, and then Marketo. You will see some fields that need to be filled in. If these fields do not match what you see, please contact your CSM, as you may be on a legacy version of the integration. To get the details for these fields, head back over to Marketo, click LaunchPoint, and then View Details on the relevant service. Proceed to copy the client ID and client secret into the fields in Vidyard. After doing this, click Munchkin and copy the Munchkin account ID into Vidyard. You can also use this page to check whether you are using any partitions. Once the details are in Vidyard, click Sync with Marketo to establish a connection between the platforms. The final stage is to check whether data is passing correctly. Before we can test, we need to set up the Munchkin ID on the sharing page. To do this, press Channels, hit Sharing Page, and then go onto the Integrations tab. When you scroll on here, you should see Marketo. If the Munchkin ID is blank, fill this in with your information and then press Save. If you do not wish to have this on your sharing page in the future, we can remove it after the test. To begin the test, find the player on your dashboard and press Share. Press Share again on the left-hand side to see the sharing page URL. Copy this link and paste it into an incognito browser, and then add a VY email string so that the player view is identified. This can be an email address that you use for testing purposes, or your own. In this example, I will watch my video all the way through, so essentially it's reached 100%. To confirm that the analytics have reached Vidyard, click Insights and then Players. You should see a matching view with the email address that was used. Now head over to Marketo and click on the database. Type in the email address that was used and press Enter. This should return a contact. Now press the ID for that contact and then Activity Log. If the integration is working as intended, you will see a list of the view activities. Clicking on the ID of these entries will provide the granular information that has passed through the integration. You can use this more granular data to build scoring models that match your business requirements. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions on this subject, or anything else for that matter, you can contact the support team at knowledge.vidyard.com or speak to your customer success manager, who is always happy to help.